No, honestly, mate. Mechanical man.
Yeah, half man, half robot.
That's
Nah.
the football done. No, nah. That's the football over though.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Salt and Sauce podcast, talking about Edinburgh football's biggest rivalry, Hearts and Hibs. My name's Stuart. I'm joined, as always, by my Hibs supporting friend Robert. Hi, Robert, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
We are particularly grateful for our support that we've had, everyone sending comments and likes, but obviously particularly grateful for the sponsors that have helped us out so far. So a big thank you, first of all, to Mintbox Removals, Dave and his team working all over the UK, based in Scotland, but moving some of the big names in sport, some celebrities all over the country. So please do get in touch with Mintbox Removals for anyone moving house soon. And then once they're in their house, Robert, who could help them?
Yeah, once they're in their house, AW Decor, they cover Edinburgh, the Lothians. Really, really good guys looking after all your painting and decorating needs. So get in touch with Andy and the guys, and the contact details are there.
Love it. Thank you very much. So let's get started then with the episodes. So we'll be ultimately just going back to the Scottish Cup last weekend, although neither of us actually played on the weekend, Friday night and Monday night football for us both. Um, we're then going to discuss the player of the season so far. That is an easy one for me later on. And then we're going to look ahead to this weekend's game as well. So Bob, we'll start with you because Hibs were playing first. You played on Friday night against Ayr. You won 1-0. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, it was a scrappy game, as we thought. Era a good outfit. It was going to be a battle. And what I would say is it's the type of match that earlier on in the season or even in seasons gone by, we would have lost that game.
Mm.
Um, we really, really had to fight to win the game. And by fight, it's the stereotypical things of, you know, winning the second balls, winning your headers, defending properly. And what I really, really liked was when the chance did come our way, I really liked the way we took the goal. And I liked it because we have conceded that type of goal. Honestly, I can't tell you how many times Hibs have conceded a goal from a long throw, header in the box, and just, the opposing striker just wanting it more, just getting their head to it. So it was really, really good to see us score a goal like that. And
So I was just going to say, you said it's the sort of game you might have lost at one point. I wonder if it was even the sort of game you would have lost like 3 months ago.
absolutely, yeah. And I think that's what we've had a chat about, that Gray has instilled a bit of backbone into that team, and
Yeah.
it's the same players, but a bit of confidence and a bit of organisation. And again, you looked at the players, you're just like, they're wanting to defend. They're actually wanting to put their head where it hurts, and that's what you've got to do in these games, because we could have quite easily have lost that game, and we would have lost our place in the cup. So I was really, really happy with the result, and not with the draw for the next round. But look, all you can do is just, we won the game, and we should have won the game, and we did. So I was really happy.
The thing is, if you're going to survive in the cup, you're probably going to have to play Celtic or Rangers at some point.
You are, but like, it would have been nice to get,
Get the hand.
a home tie, and even get like a semi-final against them, or a final. At least it's a day at Hampden, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because this is the second time we've drawn Celtic away in the cup. Like, to draw them away in both cup competitions is pretty brutal.
We got to like 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5 finals in and around the COVID years, and obviously it was playing the old firm every time. Like Celtic most, I think Rangers once, and Celtic every other time. And it's just point. The best we did was get into penalties against them once, which we
Yeah.
actually probably should have won that. But um, it does happen every so often, but it becomes a non-event at some point. You mentioned, sorry, one thing I like. I watched the Hibs game on Friday. I only half watched the first half because I was still working, but the second half, I thought there was a lot of folks saying, Hibs scored quite a late goal. Ayr had a couple of chances at the end because they had to go for it. In fairness, and your keeper made a couple of decent saves.
Yeah,
But I honestly thought Hibs were actually quite a lot on top.
yeah.
Weren't like bombarding the goal with lots of chances, but I, I'd have been amazed if you lost that or even drew it, to be
No,
honest.
look, we were the better team,
Yeah,
um, but we have been before. And again, a a goalkeeping error or one of your defenders switch off, and all of a sudden you're behind. So it was just nice to see us concentrate for the full game. The keeper pulled off saves when we needed him to, and then when the chance did come, we were brave enough. Again, it wasn't a great goal, but we were brave enough to put our head where it hurts and make sure we won the game. So,
yeah.
look, it was a very satisfying result.
Speaking of defenders who are capable of slipping up, I have to say I was actually quite impressed with Rocky Bushiri. He,
Yeah,
do you know what? He, he's easy to give a bit of stick to as an opposing fan, but I'm sure you'd admit he has had some absolute clangers,
yeah,
shockers. But I thought he was brilliant at attacking the ball on
yeah,
Friday. And as you say, that is the sort of game when it is, the weather is what it is in February, and you're away to a decent championship team in the
yeah,
cup, under the lights, on TV. But he was the one he was just header and everything. And I was actually really impressed with him.
yeah. And he, like, since coming back into the team, I have to admit, like, he has been solid.
Hmm.
Like we've not been able to drop him really because he's lack of options as well, obviously. But like he has been consistent even with that.
If
Um,
it's not what we're going to talk about, but a quick question before we move on to the Hearts game is: do you trust Rocky though, and would you proceed with him as your centre half?
Probably not.
Yeah,
No, I think in the summer we need to be upgrading that position
it's
because
always around the corner of the next mistake.
we can't afford 5, 6 errors in a season. But what I would say is he's in good form, and look, it wouldn't be the worst backup on the bench even. But I think for starting,
Yeah,
I'd like to think we can get someone maybe better on the ball even.
yeah,
With
yeah.
a better touch and things. But hats off to him. He's really upped his game. He's showing the best form since being at Hibs right now.
That's fair. Speaking of tricky away ties on telly through in the west of Scotland. St Mirren, we said it before, that's one of the hardest ties you can get outside of the old firm, especially away from home as well. I actually missed some of the game again just because of work. Managed to catch up towards the end, and obviously I've watched the highlights. It sounds like they were well on top in the first half. Took the lead with. Um, I don't know. Someone was criticising Gordon. He maybe could have done a wee bit better, but it's the goal. I don't know if you've seen it, but the shot it comes around a player, so he probably
Yeah,
sees it a bit late. I think he's trying to push it wide, but the box is that congested. It's going to fall at someone's feet. It just happened to be
yeah.
mine. So I don't know. I wouldn't blame him too much. But
I
anyway,
think a goalkeeper of his quality would be disappointed where he's knocked it back into.
maybe. But the thing is, he pushes it to the side. The only other option I think he's got is in front of him, and that's even more dangerous. So
What
I,
about
I'm,
pushing around the post though?
I don't know. I don't think it had the angle on it, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm defending him
Yeah.
too much. Either way, they deserve to be 1-0 up. But
Mm,
I think we also deserve to equalise based on the
mm,
second half. We push forward. Great to see Neuenhoff score. He was a cracking player. He was another one that had got a bit of stick when he first came in because
mm,
he's not he's not immediately like the best player on the ball or really like the best at any one attribute, but he's just a really good all round player, which is good in a centre midfielder. Um, and he really started to come onto a game, but then he got a really horrible injury, and we never really got any clear answers on when he was coming back, and we were desperate to get
mm,
him back in, especially with our form at the start of the season. So 11 months out, and in 1 minute after coming on, he scores the equaliser, and it was absolute,
mm.
as you say, Hibs support good in the air. Hearts took a big support through to Paisley, and absolute bedlam with 5 minutes to go. Obviously,
Yeah.
had a couple of chances in extra time. Um, I really like James Wilson. I
Mm,
think he's quite a slight wee guy. He's only 17, but he puts himself about. He's not scared. He's got a bit of ability. I really like him.
He's good in the air as well, which I like.
You love a striker like that. But actually, there was a good moment where I can't remember. It might have been Gogic, a big bruiser of a St Mirren centre half. It was definitely a 60-40 in their
Mhm.
favour, the ball bouncing. But most strikers for me would have just let the defender knock it clear. But Wilson put a good sprint in, took the header, knowing he was about to get clattered,
Mhm.
and it put Kabangu through, who he nearly scored it at the side net in the
Yeah.
end. Um, but he knew he was going to get the hit, and he took it anyway.
Mm.
But also, it brings me on to the penalties. Wilson took the first penalty again, which takes a bit of balls to,
Mm.
leathered it into the top corner, and then even when the keeper was about to go pick the ball up, he's went and smashed it into the net again and given a big selly to the fans.
Yeah.
I think at 17, I just got a lot of time for that.
Yeah,
Uh,
look, he looks a really good prospect.
yeah,
His touch, his movement. He seems like quite a cool customer. He's got that kind of Cole Palmer vibe. He doesn't seem to be kind of phased by much.
yeah, yeah.
It's good. Look, it's good to see people coming through the academy.
And what I'd say, and this maybe sounds like a dig at Hibs, I don't mean this, but like when you get a young player that comes through with actually a good head on their shoulders rather than, and there's been a few that have had all the
Yeah,
ability in the world, but not had the mentality for it.
yeah,
But ultimately, yeah, smashed the penalty home. So good on him. But obviously the hero from the shootout. I don't. Did you see the penalties? Did you catch them?
yes, I did.
Craig
Great.
Gordon. Yeah, Craig Gordon. He's actually. Do you know what's funny? I saw the last bit of it with my dad, and he was saying Gordon, for all he is a brilliant keeper, he's not necessarily been the best penalty saver that there's been.
Mm,
Some keepers are
mm,
specialists in saving penalties, like Martinez at Villa and things like that.
mm.
But he's done the biz against St Mirren there. The first one, quite a soft penalty, but he's done well to get down low to it. Second one, I thought was an all right hit, and Gordon's just made a good save. But I just great way to go, best way to go through, worst way to go out. So
Yeah,
nothing against
and
St.
and and to be fair, Hearts faced a pretty good St Mirren. Like they were up for it, and um, it normally would be a tricky tie, but St Mirren actually played well as well. It's not like they didn't show up. So it was a good tie to come through.
St Mirren. We said before they've had on days and off days this season. And I wouldn't say they were like unbelievable or anything, but they definitely played better than some other games that they've been in this season. So
Yeah, yeah,
as I say, delighted to get through. And then in contrast to Celtic away, we've got Dundee at home, which I know we just pumped them 6-0. They are still a good team. We'd fully expect to win that though.
yeah,
Uh, and then, there's if we can avoid the winners of Hibs and Celtic, well, certainly who we think will be the winner anyway. Um, I wouldn't mind a shot at the Hibs, obviously, but it means you're getting someone like St Johnstone or Queens Park
mm.
going through. Speaking of which, did you see the Queens Park Rangers game? I know we're not really doing Old Firm, but we'll call it the Queens Park game.
I did, I did. I was very happy with that. What a
What did
performance! Like what a performance! And
the
like if those
keeper?
Hibs players are needing a bit of inspiration, like there you go, Queens Park going to Ibrox against a team that's better 10, 15 times in every position, and you go and get a result. It was brilliant.
How good was the keeper?
Yeah, he was class. He was
And
class.
the penalty save alone.
Even the goal, the finish for
I
the
know.
goal,
Oh, it's great.
really
Yeah,
well.
I know.
No, so I was really really happy with that as well. So
I
I
know.
was
And
we get Queens Park in the next round, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you've got a trip to Glasgow at least. And
uh,
that would have been a trip to Hampden as well. So there you
yeah,
go. The it is obviously good news to have Rangers out. I know you can banter against Rangers fans, but actually to just have either the Old Firm out at this stage is good for Hearts and Hibs, obviously. Um, Next thing we're going to talk about was player of the season so far, which I mean, to be honest, the answer has been the same probably since the first month of the season, but there's not exactly been a huge amount to pick from either team until the last couple of months, I'd say. Uh, do you want to go first on this one?
my player this season, Nicky Cadden.
I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other player kind of head and shoulders above the rest of the squad. Really, he's been our most effective player, assists, goals, and just his attitude and leadership qualities. Always looking for the ball, always willing to get on it, always looking to make something happen. He's really been the difference since coming back into the side. So
Yeah. I would say that
for me,
that's a phrase that's get used quite a lot. He's been the difference, but I genuinely think actually since he has come back in, that's when you started winning games.
yeah, absolutely, it's no coincidence.
And he has been excellent as delivery. I think you got the cross for Gale at Tynecastle as well, didn't you?
Yes,
No, Cadden, he has been very, very good. Chris Cadden's been decent as well, but Nicky Cadden, I thought you were going to say him for your player of
yeah,
the year.
yeah. What about Hearts?
It's a left back as well. It's not the
Penrith.
sexiest position on the pitch, but yeah, we Penrice is a brilliant player. Got him on a freebie from Livingston. I think he'll go in the summer. I think there'll be a lot of teams looking at him because he's genuinely been that good. His play going forward is great. His delivery is great. He's got a great link up with Spittle, who's also had a decent season. I think he's got a bit more in him to give, maybe more consistently, but he's done all right. But Penrice has been great going forward, brilliant defensively, but he seems to be in both positions at the same time. He's got some engine on him. He's also another guy who's he's quite slight. He's 26, but he looks about 14. But
Mm.
he's not scared. He gets stuck in. He picks up a couple of bookings, which I know obviously isn't a good thing in terms of getting suspended, but I'd be concerned about a player who never gets booked.
You get stuck in.
Exactly. You need to do that you need to run that risk sometimes. So um I couldn't think of any other season where both teams would pick both their left backs as the player of the season, or any other clubs that would do that. But it's an easy one for me. Penrice on that one all day long.
Yeah,
Have you seen much of Penrice? Any thoughts on him from a Hibs perspective?
I've not seen a lot of him, but from what I have seen of him, he looks good.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
Again, just he looks good engine on him. He's quick, good on the ball. Um, he's got a good attitude, and like that, he looks fearless.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
And he's the type of player that's probably only going to get better as well. So
hmm.
definitely one to watch.
I suspect, like I said, I think he'll go in the summer. I don't know where, and I don't know for how much, but yeah, there'll be a few folk looking at him. I think
The Italian league, maybe.
got a good record there
They
at the
love a
minute.
left back.
Yeah, yeah, Doy, Kiki, and all that. But even a few other just Scottish footballers in general that have gotten out there are doing really well.
Rangers or Celtic might be looking as well for
I
a left back. So
mean, I don't think Celtic will because they've got Tierney.
yeah,
Although
Rangers though.
I'd, I mean, can Rangers afford him? We've got him
Well,
under contract. I can't see Rangers playing that much that we would want to sell him to a rival. I don't think so.
mm,
I think those days are gone now of Rangers being able to do that anytime soon. Hopefully. Um, Speaking of Rangers, yeah, we've obviously got them on Sunday. Early kickoff on the Sunday there. I don't know what to make of it. As you say, the bit of inspiration from Queen's Park going out there. All right, you obviously have to set your stall out a wee bit and let them have the ball, but um, they did great, and it's something that's frustrated me over the years. Hearts have over the last few years had some great teams, done really, really well, good spells of dominating third place. But we've also, even in those spells, absolutely bottled it at Parkhead and at Ibrox, and it frustrates me so much. So many times I just want to take the foot off the gas and just give them a game. We did that first game of the season at Tynecastle when it was 0-0. I know I've mentioned it before, but I thought we were the better team that day. Certainly in my opinion, but we were great. We had Penrice going forward, we had Taylor going forward, Danda getting on the ball a lot. So I'd like to give them a go. They're vulnerable at the minute. The fans will be on their back. If we were to score an early goal, there could be absolute riots in the stands at Ibrox. They'll be going crazy and calling for his head. Um, will we win? I don't know. Obviously, probably not, given that you're away at the Old Firm. But can we win? I mean, yeah, it's Rangers are so inconsistent. My only concern is I think they'll see Hearts as one of their bigger games in the league compared to like Queen's Park, with all respect. Um, and Rangers, one thing they have been good at, like in Europe, for example, or when they play Celtic, is they lift their game a wee bit enough to get the job done. And in fact, in some games, you look at Spurs, they played really, really well.
mm.
So I don't know. I don't think they'll have Hearts as a team that they slip up against. So Heart says 1-0 Hearts. Head says 2-0 Rangers. If I had to predict it.
Yeah, I can see Hearts causing them problems, and again, they could easily go there and get a result. Um, could be a draw, but I just think Rangers will up their game, and they are still a strong team at Ibrox as well. If it was at Tynecastle, I might fancy Hearts because Rangers aren't doing well away from home. But at Ibrox, I'm going for a Rangers win, and I think probably it'll be a very close one. 1-0. Wouldn't be surprised for the dodgy pen to Rangers or something, but I don't think it'll be a hammering. I think it'll be a close game. 1-0, 2-1, something like that.
Yeah. And it's well, as I keep saying, it's the battle of the two form teams in the league, top of the form
Yeah.
table. So I listen. We'll see what happens. I'll hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Yeah, and obviously Hibs are away to St Mirren on Sunday, and again, it's a place that historically we like. It's not been a happy hunting ground for us.
Was it earlier this season that just I'm just going to use an honest word here. They pumped you 3-0, but it was like
They dominated them first half, missed all the chances, and then second half they just completely kind of they took their chances, and that was it. Really, it was a very, very strange game.
I knew all the goals came in one half. I couldn't remember if they did it in the first half or
Yeah, I think it was the second half.
But it was like once one went in, it was just that was it.
Yeah, but no, I'm confident of a result. St Mirren are a good side, but I think we can go there and I think we can get a result. Again, a draw wouldn't be the worst result in the world. But I'm going for a Hibs win. I think we'll sneak it. I think we've got enough about us to go there and get a result.
Yeah, you're in form. St Mirren are not. They were a wee bit up and down, but they've actually not including the cup. I think in the league, I think they've lost 3 or 4 in a row. Including I think they lost to St Johnstone, didn't they, last time out? So, I mean, yeah, based on form, it's a Hibs win all day long. But as you say, when it's in Paisley, it's who knows what can happen.
That's it, and like nothing would surprise me because St Mirren, they'd love a result against Hibs as well.
Yeah.
So depends on the conditions. We would have to score first, I think, just to get them out their shape, and then they have to leave gaps in behind. But anything can happen. But I'm going for a Hibs win.
Score prediction?
2-0 or 2-1.
2-0, 2-1. Fair enough. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
going to go for. I think that's going to be cancelled. I think you're going to cancel each other. I'm going to say 0-0 in Paisley, which, as you say, I actually don't think would be a terrible result. I know you want.
Draw.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Money back on Bet365. Brilliant, Robert. Well, we'll see what happens. Neither of us predicting our team will score. Oh no, sorry, you did. Sorry, I'm not predicting either team will score. But we'll see where we are next week. Thanks again.
Yep.
Always good to see you. And thanks again to Mintbox Removals and to AW Decor as well. Give them a look up, folks. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thank you.